You're listening to the Radcast, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. It's Friday, February 16th, 2024, our weekly marketing and business news of the week. What's up, Chris Hansen?
What's up, my man? How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, we record, admittedly, we do pre-record these. And so I don't mind giving away our trade insider secrets. I've got on my pinkish red. This is my closest thing to feeling at least a little festive on technically what record day is Valentine's Day. So, you know, I've got more color than I normally have. I'm feeling extra colorful.
You're looking like a Florida man coming down for vacation.
Oh, yeah.
I like
vacay.
It. Yeah.
In the vacay lounge there in hot Miami. What's the temp in Miami today?
76 and sunny.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's nice here, though. I think we're in the 60s today. We're starting to warm up a little in Greenville. It's funny, in Greenville, it'll be 65 today and 38 on Saturday, probably. That's what happens in February. But
get that bipolar weather.
Yeah, we get 4 seasons in 1 month. we get all 4 seasons in the month of February. But hope everyone is doing fabulous wherever, whenever, however you are listening. We appreciate you for making us number 1 in marketing and business on Apple and climbing the ranks on Spotify, I might add. So we appreciate that. Keep listening. Keep telling your friends. Hey, I mean, friends don't let friends not be listening to the Radcast, you know? So that's how this works. If you enjoy it, tell somebody. We got to spread the word. We're taking the BS out of business, baby.
That's right, boy. I like that.
Yes. Snapping necks and cashing checks. So what'd you think? Did you watch any of the Super Bowl? You were out at dinner. You're like maybe the second half or something.
I admittedly watched 0 seconds of any Super Bowl. First time in my life. Yeah. Not planned, but like you said, I was at dinner, you know.
Yeah. I mean, your menu looked better than most. we'll leave it at that. Yeah. Inside joke. But yeah, good game. Longest game in Super Bowl history, which means they probably sold more ads than history, I guess, if we're equating that to commercial time. Yeah. So in business, I did see this, the Super Bowl this year, the amount of economic activity that it generated, not, I guess, just worldwide, everything, not just like local activity, local commerce, but was $21 billion. Something, it was
wild.
I might have my number off by like 1 decibel or 1 point, but it was well in the double figure billions. Let's just say that. Doesn't matter if it's 10 billion or 21 billion. It's still billions. The point is the impact of the Super Bowl, from ads to hotels to sponsors to travel, like every impact that it has. That's pretty insane. I mean, for one event.
It's huge.
Billions. So that's why it's the Super Bowl, baby. It's gotten super expensive too. I heard seats even they cooled at the end, just to go sit in like the nosebleed. You're like $6,000 or something like that.
I saw that on Instagram. People interviewing on the street how much they paid. It was 5, 10, 12K.
And I'm like, do that math for a second. And I don't want to pretend that the average middle class American is at the game. But what's the average salary? What's the average salary in America? Like 42,000 something? 40?
This is
maybe
exactly what I thought when I saw these people saying this. Yeah. So let's say 55.
Yeah, 50. Oh, that's it's no
combined,
way it's that high.
Probably.
Yeah, household income maybe. But so you're dropping 5 to 10 grand on that. And let's be honest, no one in there is probably making that. Well, they might be, or their uncle gave them a free ticket or something. But nonetheless, it's an expensive venture. And, and some people don't even have to pay to get shown. especially if your name's Taylor Swift.
47 times.
Yeah, 47.
Right?
Was it 47?
That's what I heard. I heard there was a betting line in Vegas on how many times she would be shown.
Well, I knew there was. Did it end up being 47?
That
sounds about
That's
right.
what I was told yesterday.
I mean, it didn't feel like that many times when like the cameras, but admittedly,
you didn't feel you were overwhelmed.
Well, we had some friends over, and so it was, I was a little distracted, other than kind of, bouncing back and forth with convo. But I will say this: the Super Bowl commercials, as we talked about, as we previewed last week, were about what I expected. Not creative, not pushing the envelope, and we'll call them safe. That's the nicest term I can give them. I think most people in the industry and in general agreed with that. It was, I want to give credit where credit's due. This was one of the reviewers' terms, but I agreed with it. It was an arms race for celebrity mentions. It was just like, how many celebrities can we jam in here? Like it was not enough to have one celebrity. You had to have 17.
Did you see Kanye's commercial?
I did.
And did you
19 million
that was
in sales.
Interesting. Right. And because he said, this is the commercial because we dropped the whole ad budget.
We used the whole ad budget on it.
I thought that was
he
different.
spoke out the website and he had it on the screen at the end. And so if you're selling, and this is what I said, I talked about this last week and I've written on this, like if you have a direct to consumer product, which you can, and you have 100 million people watching and you sell it worldwide, which he does. He's got the whole world is his market. I mean, not everyone, but in theory,
sure.
He, as far as shipping and where he'll, all that. So if you have that logistics figured out and you have a mass, and his is niche, but it's sort of mass because it does cross a lot of boundaries, people that wear those shoes. And so, 7 million to do 19 million in sales. And then here's what happened. If he did 19 million in sales and he spent 7 million on the spot, I'm sure there's other costs, different things. Let's say for a second, and I'm sure he made profit on that, but let's just say for a second it was break even. Do you know what happens when $19 million of his merchandise end up on people's feet and people see them and their friends have them? It will sell another 19 million in referrals and word of mouth. So, this is where the Super Bowl has power over a lot of other mediums if you have that. Now, it's a unique product from a unique character. we'll call him that. Personality. And I don't agree with his every approach at all. I do admire his genius at times. Let's be honest, he clearly has some issues. But that aside, the marketing, thinking about it for purely marketing and product, it was pretty well played. I'd like to get validation on all that, but he did share some stuff that looked screenshots and stuff, and it looked real. I mean, you have to really be trying to parade that facade if that wasn't real. So anyway, I will say this. I mean, overall, it's just. I posted this on LinkedIn. A guy pinged me about, what I thought of the Super Bowl ads or whatever. And I mean, creativity's left the building. Experimentation's left the building. It's like, yeah, we can write a spot with put celebrities in it, which brings interest and it's borrowed interest. And hey, we know no one loves borrowed interest more than this guy. However, I'll say this. What do they say when everybody goes right? It is ripe for somebody to break through with some jammo creative ideas on Super Bowls and in general with content, because it's getting stale and formulaic is what I'd call it. And I will say this, I thought this was the most effective. Everybody asked me what my favorite ad was. And I don't, I got an iPhone. I'm probably not going to buy the Google Pixel. But I will say it let the brand, top of mind brand notion for me is called Javier and Frame. It was, essentially the feature Javier was the voiceover, a guy that had bad vision, near blindness, and the functionality of the phone allowed him to know when to take these selfies. It was very creative. It was wonderful storytelling, had an emotional impact at the end with a little bit of a left turn. And that is how you tell a story with emotion and build brand and sell product. So I think Google's had a masterclass, one of the only brands that's had a masterclass in storytelling and branding the last couple of years. They had another spot a couple of years with the Google Assistant with the old man who was recalling memories with, we didn't know it was his deceased wife, but turned out to be his deceased wife. And if you go watch that spot, you better have a Kleenex ready because it was similar in emotional impact. So I thought, again, and look, everybody was saying you won't see the gurus talk about that spot probably in their top 3. They're going to go, the Duncan spot, which we'll get to. They'll talk about all the other things and, the things that won the ad meter. But let me tell you this. You go look at Javier and Frame on Google, on YouTube, 42 million plays, 25x the closest competitor commercial that was on Sunday night. So 42 million people have gone and watched that spot since the Super Bowl, 25 times more than any other commercial played. That's because it has impact and people wanted to go watch it again. So,
and shared it.
Yeah. So, again, the Google phone's got a lot of challenges to overtake iPhone with the whole ecosystem and all that. But I bet you they sold some.
Yeah.
Now the Duncan spot. Look, I'm a dude. I like Tom Brady. I like Matt Damon. I like Ben Affleck. I enjoyed the spot. It was fun. It was humorous. So it was a good spot. I'm not hating on it. I think they had 27 celebrities. I was more like adding up. How much did this cost? I want to know how much that spot cost. They had $7 million to run it. And the Duncan.
How much for the talent that was in it?
How much of the talent was in it? It's got to be 20 million. I don't know. Because Tom, a lot of those celebrities aren't getting off the couch for high 6-figure, 7-figure, interesting. But it was fun. How effective it'll be, how many coffees they'll sell. I don't know, good brand. I like the Nike Dunk shoes. Nice touch. I don't know if you saw those. But have you seen a replay of that? The Dunk Kings? Mm-hmm. You need to go watch it.
I will.
Today. It's fun. And I don't know what it is. It's hard not to like Tom Brady. Like even to hit Tom, Tom's over the corner. He's the only one that's, I guess, not technically the actor. I know there were some musical artists and things like that aren't actors either. But Ben and Matt Damon and some of those guys are in it. And but Tom's you realize. See, this is what people don't realize. You realize how tall Tom is. Tall Tom in the right corner, like with sunglasses on. I'm like, all right, I like Tom. I don't know. He's hard not to like, at least for me. I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is.
I'm
he's
a
likable.
big fan of him.
Yeah. And, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I want to not hold it against them that, they had an easy path. They still had to have good writing. So, it was good writing. And, but overall, I wasn't able to pay attention as much. And then I watched the replay of, I think all of them or whatever. They had a couple videos online. You can find them. But look, got to break through. Get something creative. It doesn't have to offend people to be creative. Right. That's where they were playing it safe because, no one really wanted, we didn't want social backlash. You don't get social backlash for being creative. You get social backlash when you take a stand on something that 80% of America doesn't agree with. So just don't be stupid. You can still be creative. So we'll see what happens. It was a historic Super Bowl as far as length and time and the final outcome. And hey, congrats to the Chiefs. Hail to the Chiefs or the Chiefs. That's a good commercial too, if you've seen that. State Farm. or I think the guy was painting the end zone. He forgot the I.
That's good.
Andy Reid walks up to him. He goes, "Who are the chefs?" Anyway, that's fun. If you haven't seen it, Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Meta, aka Facebook, aka Instagram, aka WhatsApp, aka Quest. These are all
aka Snapchat.
No, he didn't have Snapchat.
They didn't acquire Snapchat.
The Mark Zuckerberg thinks the Quest 3 is better than the Vision Pro. These are AR, VR headsets. Mark Zuckerberg compared MetaQuest 3 and Apple Vision Pro headsets, stating that the Quest 3 is a superior product. Despite being less expensive, Zuckerberg believes the Quest 3 offers better value and overall performance. He highlighted the comfort, wider field of view, and combination of hand tracking and physical controls as advantages over Vision Pro. Additionally, he mentioned Meta's rich library of content and established presence in the mixed reality market compared to Apple's late entry. I mean, he owns the company, so what else is he going to say? But right. I have read a lot of reviews on these. I'm going to get one of these things. We already have the MetaQuest 2 at home. The kids play with it. It's just a gamey thing. The Quest 3 is further along because it has a color overlay where you can actually turn it on and see in front of you the cameras. And so you're actually, it's closer to what the Vision Pro is with that mixed reality and or AR experience so that you can like walk around with it on. Because, I mean, you know, who doesn't want to walk around with a big headset on your head? But so I want to trial one of these, but I just think until these things get smaller, less obtuse, I think it's going to be a struggle for it to be more of the mainstream. And, you know, the Vision Pro, everyone is kind of mesmerized by the quality of it and the potential of it, but they all kind of say the same thing. It's like, I'm not sure what it replaces. I'm not sure it improved anything. It was just an enhanced experience on some levels. And I'm not sure who you have multiple desktops up. Do I really want 8 desktops up? Like what you can see? It's like, how much can you digest?
I'm trying to do the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm trying to detach a little bit more.
Well,
what was the stuff in the 90s? Like Nintendo had a big red one. Do you remember that? It was on like a tripod and you would stick your face into it.
Yeah. I think it was just,
that was what, 20 years ago?
Oh, that was way 30 years ago, probably.
Yeah. And we're still kind of, you would have think that we would have progressed quicker. But I think you said this recently, once it becomes a contact lens or an implant or something that's a little bit more seamless.
Yes. Sunglasses, maybe.
I saw a video of a kid getting pulled over in a Cybertruck wearing the Apple Vision Pro. And the cop's like, what are you doing?
You can't drive with that thing. But it does raise questions. Like, you're going to see people doing that. Like, is there a law 100%. That it's not? Because you can see out it. What's the difference? I guess, but you're not seeing the real world. You're seeing potentially 5 millisecond behind lag of the real world. Like, I don't know if it's like, what's the lag?
Eventually they're going to like merge it into your windshield. Like kind of like my windshield now that projects the speed limit. Is it going to be like, you can swipe all
in theory, you could, if you really like pause for a second, and a lot of people, think about thinking, like the car's going to drive itself and you're going to have that on and you're going to have these experiences. Outdoor boards can go away because the AR can layer it onto what you're seeing.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to take up real estate anymore.
Geofencing.
And what it does is, the irony for me is, this is such an expensive niche product. It's at the wrong end of the spectrum because the people that have a shitty house that would like to go somewhere nice, they need this so they can put this on and go to a better place. Like, right? The virtual reality. But it's so expensive, they can't afford it. And then the people that can't afford it don't have such a bad environment to begin with. So I think that delta and that dichotomy will change over time, but in premise, it's sort of an escape. It's escapism, you know, like that's what this is. And you need it. It'll be, you could see a world where people don't ever leave their closet. I mean, it's the fucking Matrix here. We're coming to the Matrix, aren't we? Is that just where we're ending up? Like one way or the other?
Yeah, there's a movie that
talks about this.
Ready Player One. Ready Player One.
Yeah. There it
Literally
is.
what we're turning into.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
There it is. And if you want to learn from me directly, join my newsletter, ryanalford.com/newsletter. Sign up. I give daily advice on marketing, personal branding, podcasting, life. Give that a shout. Join that. It's free. It's daily. Just like this show, give away our best advice. Adidas has a new campaign. It tells athletes of all types, you got this. Adidas has launched a new global brand campaign centered around the theme of overcoming pressure in sports to enhance athletes' enjoyment. The campaign features a 90-second video showcasing a mix of professional and amateur athletes, including endorsers like Pat Mahomes, Trinity Rodman, Lionel Messi, and others. Adidas collaborated with Neuro 11, a group of sports neuroscientists, to gain insights into how elite athletes handle pressure, with the aim of providing practical advice to athletes at all levels. You got this. So,
you got this, bro. Just do it. Versus you got this.
Exactly. Yeah, I say, you know, that's where we've come. You know, Nike and everybody's, it's kind of like, just do it, man. Do this. Now it's, you got this, Bobby. You can do it.
Hey,
you can do it.
Got this. Pat on the back.
You got this. We just need support. We just need a little support.
Was that the phrase that the neuroscientist decided was most empowering?
Yeah. Is it the woke scientists or neuros? I'm kidding. Whatever.
It's kind of a random collab. Like, what did they do?
Yeah.
They come up with the
I think they didn't get into it. Obviously, we're doing some summation here, but they're essentially helping understand like how the best athletes manage pressure and maybe looking at some of the brain activity and different things like that could inform recommendations to other people. And here, I'm going to give you some advice. Grow some discipline, create some good habits. That's what they do. You know, a little self-control. Yeah. There you go. You got it. You got this. Oh, it is funny. Like, we're joking, have a little bit of fun around like societal, like stereotypes and everything, but it sort of is funny to just do it versus you got this.
Seems a little soft.
Yeah. You got this. It's supportive. I get it. It's not that bad. It's just
supportive is a great word.
Yeah.
It's supportive.
It's supportive.
I feel like just do it is more offensive.
Yeah.
Get after it.
Oh, it's way better.
Get after it.
Yeah. Get after it. Whatever. So,
I don't know.
Adidas with a new global campaign that you'll be seeing everywhere. Coke keeps innovation rolling with a new permanent flavor. For a second, I'll admit, I read some of these articles and I thought it said peppermint flavor. I'm just going to, I was like, oh, no, It's permanent flavor. So, little thing there. And these are TikTok shop exclusives. You cannot get these anywhere. You got to go shop on TikTok to get these Cokes. This comes from our friends at Marketing Dive, marketingdive.com. Coca-Cola introduces 2 innovative products to its lineup. Coca-Cola Spiced, a permanent edition featuring raspberry. This is permanent. Permanent edition featuring raspberry and spiced flavors. And Happy Tears, 0 sugar. A limited run soda inspired by Tears of Joy. Exclusively available on TikTok shop. These tears taste delicious.
I was like, is it salty?
I don't know. But when you're talking shit about somebody, you know, you go, oh, yeah, those tears taste delicious. Like,
there's something we're missing. I'm going to go on TikTok after this and research this Tears of Joy. What is this?
Happy Tears. not Tears of Joy, but it's inspired by Tears of Joy, but the name of it is Happy Tears, Zero Sugar. The launch reflects Coke's commitment to fast-paced innovation and staying relevant with Gen Z consumers. Spiced aims to capitalize on the trend of flavored cola, while Happy Tears leverages TikTok's e-commerce platform and the unboxing trend. Both products showcases Coke's agility in product development and marketing strategies tailored to digital platforms. They're coming out with a lot of flavors. I'll give them that. I haven't had one that I like. I like Coke Zero and I like Cherry Coke Zero. I've tried all the other ones. I'm dying to like something different, and they all are just weird, fruity nastiness. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I love Coke, but I just can't get after maybe the Tears of Joy or Happy Tears, whatever they're happy ending tears, whatever they are. In the TikTok, I'm gonna go hit the TikTok shop later on.
Yeah, give them a try.
I don't know if raspberry spiced flavor sounds good either, but at the end of the day, let me tell you what this is all PR. They're not going to sell. I guarantee if you go look at the numbers, they still sell 90% of their product mix is Coke Classic. Maybe Diet Coke's got pretty damn popular. It's probably like, I bet it's 50% Coke, 30% Diet Coke, 10% Coke Zero.
Yeah. And
maybe 3 to 5% are all these other bullshit stuff. Maybe. This is product cycle. This is innovation to keep you in the PR cycle and the news cycle, like us talking about it. This is earned media from these things. And it shows, hey, they're trying to find something. They're trying to keep people interested. But the total available market of soda drinkers doesn't magically increase every day. There's only so many people that drink so much soda. So it's not like they're creating new market here. They might say they're going to get people that don't drink it on, and that might be happening with the Gen Z. Maybe they're going to I'm anti-Coke, but I'm going to drink these funky flavors. But, and I need to see that data if that's really happening. It's more to stay top of mind with that market who's just going to buy a Coke Zero, or Diet Coke anyway, probably. After they maybe buy one of these to do what I did, turn my nose up and go, this doesn't taste very good. But my son, who's 14, does collect all the bottles of the new flavors. So that's like his thing. Don't know why, but collectibles, people like collecting different things. So it's having that impact. But you know what? He does that. But you know what he buys every time he goes back, like to actually get what he wants? Coke Zero or Coke regular. It's one of the two. Yeah. He goes back and forth. Well, he thinks he's trying to like save some calories. He's 14 and, barely, 100 pounds soaking wet. And it's like, 4% body fat. So when he's saving calories, he'll have the Coke Zero. Like it. Yeah. So, and look, we don't feed them soda all day, but we let them you gotta have a Coke, I mean,
especially if you're getting some McDonald's, bro.
Oh yeah.
I know you guys.
Hot cake.
Flapjack Fridays. Hot cake Friday. Sorry.
Hot cake Friday. This is 9 years running. Every Friday, school for 9 years in a row. McDonald's, you didn't call me, baby. This would be a story that you want to tell. So
I agree. Because I want to hear it.
Google AI now goes by a new name, Gemini. Coming to the main stage, Gemini. I mean,
it sounds like American Gladiator.
It does. It's Gladiator.
It's now coming. Monkey bars, Gemini.
Yeah. Private dances in the back room with Gemini.
Does sound like that as well.
Yeah. Google has rebranded its AI efforts under the name Gemini. I gotta say, I'm only gonna ever say it that way. I'm gonna patent that way of saying it if I could. Encompassing its Bard chatbot, Duet AI features in Google Workspace, and the Gemini Ultra 1. This is like foreign language here. Gemini aims to serve as a conversational multimodal assistant. Come on, guys. Just call it what
Make
it is.
Readable to literally the average person because they don't know what the hell that means.
Yeah. The company is prioritizing Gemini over Google Assistant and integrating it into its Android ecosystem, while Gemini iOS presence is limited. Its features will be accessible through the Google app. So it's similar to ChatGPT. It's going to be built into the functionality. Essentially, a more helpful chatbot is all this is. And, I like this stuff. It's just the writing and the naming and everything else. It's just, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's fun to everyone else, but it just seems ridiculous. The naming department, everything else, Gemini, just space. This sounds like either spacey or, I don't know. My mind goes to different places, but it's not, I guess it's meant to be fun and light, which is kind of like the Google brand. But I do think a lot of this stuff is making its way into more useful integrations with the devices and stuff, which is good to see. Everybody's not going to just go to the web browser and chat GPT and like look up stuff. So some of the features and benefits and the access to this additional layer of technology is being built in. So I think you're going to see positive outcomes and use of this stuff as it gets more mainstream, which is good. And let's just make it easy though and call it what it is. More helpful assistance and not instead of multimodal. It's a multimodal assistant.
Do less.
There we have it. I think that's all the articles we can cover today. We had the Super Bowl news, the impact of the ads, and the overall economic impact is incredible. Any last thoughts here, Chris, to end the week?
You know what? To touch on the Super Bowl stuff, let's get some more creativity pumping again.
Yeah.
Call the radical agency if you need help with it.
Exactly. Hey, we don't just talk shit. We back it up, baby. So, yeah, radical.company. You can find us. You know where to find me. You know where to find us. TheRadcast.com. All of the highlight clips from today. Search for Gemini. You'll find all of it today. One of the keywords from the episode. That's the secret code word. If you want to DM me, Gemini, I'll laugh at you. For Chris Hansen in Miami, I'm Ryan Alford. We'll see you next time on the Radcast.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.